Welcome back to another episode of the Adventure Athletes podcast. Now, I've been really excited for this podcast. I've planned this one probably like 3 or 4 months ago now, probably about 4 months ago, with my good friend Rich Jones. Now, Rich is an incredible runner. He's another slammer, but he also threw in doing Sirona 100-mile race on top of the Pegasus Slam. So 7 ultras in 7 months. In 6 months. He only really started running properly this year, and it's been amazing seeing him go from a listener of the podcast to becoming a good friend of mine and then progressing on to becoming a guest. He's done some amazing things and he's got some amazing insights. What I really liked about Rich was he was sharing perspectives from the slam that other people didn't seem to be talking about, not publicly at least, where they were talking about how the slam is affecting them physically and mentally. And yeah, it's not always the best sort of feeling having to do an ultra month for 6 months. So that can take quite a toll on your body and on your mind and on your recovery, how you're prepping for the next one and all things like that. And yeah, he's got quite a down-to-earth approach, probably because he's so new to running. So it's been really good chatting with him and getting a real good insight. Now, before we get started, I do want to talk about Sport in Mind a bit more. I do this every episode. I am an ambassador and fundraiser for Sport in Mind. I'm currently setting up a group fundraiser. Well, it's set up already, a group fundraiser where we're trying to spend the next year raising as much money for Sport in Mind as possible. If you want to donate, drop me a message. I will send you the donation link. Or if you want to get involved with the fundraising, if you've got a challenge that you want to push yourself on and you need some help with fundraising, with training, with anything like that, drop me a message and we will get you involved in the big group fundraiser. I love helping people and facilitating them doing their own personal challenges. So if there's any way I can help, please let me know. Now, before we get into the podcast, here's a quick message from our friends over at Soulmate.
We're Soulmate. Whether you're new to running or an experienced runner, we've got you covered for both road and trail, from shoes to nutrition to running poles and everything in between. Use code ADVENTURE10 both in-store or online for 10% off your order.
And now, enjoy the podcast. What was your call to adventure?
I suppose it goes back to my teenage years. I used to surf a lot. So that was kind of like my introduction to being out in nature and exploring. And then fast forward up until 4 years ago, I had like a total mental breakdown, kind of lost myself. And it was through wild swimming that I kind of found my love for nature and exploring and finding, new spots around Wales to explore. And then it was only up until this time last year that I actually started running on the trails with Mike and Ryan, who you know. And then from that point, it's kind of been a whirlwind since then. But yeah, that's the basic summary of it.
So what was the moment then that sort of led you to get back into like the wild dips and...
And yeah, so I ended up taking an overdose. Hit complete rock bottom, and I was willing to try anything that could kind of help me kind of rediscover a passion or just a zest for life, to be honest, because I just had no confidence, no self-belief or anything. And yeah, it was just a friend who recommended wild swimming, so I kind of started doing it, and it was instant straight away. I kind of felt much significantly better about it. And then it was a good way of exploring and finding new spots around South Wales. And then from there, I kind of was feeling better within myself, started becoming more active. And then eventually that led to starting running again and then getting on the trails.
No, lucky you.
All I can say is I can't believe what's happened in less than a year, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I run my first marathon last November, which was, not an event or anything. Just me and my mate Billy, along the Gower Coastal Path, 35 miles, which was tough. but I felt like it ignited something in me.
So not even a marathon, just straight to ultra.
No, sorry, I've got that wrong. The first one was a marathon.
Okay.
Yeah, in November, and then I run my first ultra in January.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've run my first ultra in January, carried on training, carried on feeling good, and my original plan for this year was to just do 140 miler for the whole year. How I was wrong. I carried on training, and then I knew Mike was doing the slam. So I said, "Oh, when's the first event for the slam?" And he said, "Oh, I'm doing the Canham, a 40 miler in April." So I said, "Okay, I'll sign up for that. Just get the year target out the way straight away in April." And then before I know it, I'm doing the slam. And then, as you know, in the middle of the slam, then I end up doing a 100 miler. So in the space of running my first ultra in 9 months, I've ended up running 9 ultras, and one of them's a 100 miler. So just goes to show, though, you know, for me at the time last year, running a marathon was a really big thing for me to do, and I did go into it really fast, probably faster than recommended. I think I went from 5k to a marathon in definitely less than 2 months. But I just had this feeling that if I did something like that, something drastic, it was just going to change the trajectory of my life. And it did. It did work. So I think it's good to have a blueprint and good to follow guides sometimes, but equally I think sometimes you should do something which seems not the correct way to do it, because it can have an even more profound effect and just completely change the trajectory of your life.
Yeah. How have you found it then since doing it all? Because obviously we chat quite a lot and follow each other's Instagrams, and I see all your stories, and that's what really made me want to get your perspective on things, was the sort of honesty behind your stories, which I hadn't really seen people doing the slam post about.
Yeah, I'm new into this as well, so I was just kind of learning on the job as I was going through it, and I was just posting things just honestly, because I feel like perhaps I can give a different perspective. I started off, I only knew Mike and Lee who were doing the slam. Now you know what it's like doing the slam. It's like a massive community. I know all these people, but I just wanted to give a different perspective, because a lot of people have been in this scene for a while, and perhaps they just got a different perspective to me. So I found the Canham really difficult. Obviously, because I wasn't conditioned for it. I felt like something came out of me in the Canham, to be honest. Like, when I got to mile 36 to 41, that was like the marathon, and the first ultra I did was tough, but this was just completely different. I felt like, and I don't run with headphones in, I felt like I was just arguing with myself for hours and hours, which was what I needed. And I feel like from that moment, something changed within me. So that was tough. And then by the time the Howam came around, I just felt mentally and physically in a much better place. And I really enjoyed the Howam. The gap between the races, like at first, I think the slam seems like a massive physical challenge. But I definitely think it is enough time to recover, as long as you're training and, more importantly, recovering properly. That's a point. I think a lot of people in this community they might pay close attention to training and race day, but they kind of don't appreciate recovery. And recovery can come under a lot of different brackets, but one thing I think I might have benefited from was the 4 years before I was running ultras. It was all about cold water dipping and saunas, just mindfulness, and I feel like from implementing that in my life, that's so important for the recovery of the nervous system. So I feel like after the races I was focusing on that, and my nervous system was having a reset, so I was kind of like ready for the next month, whereas I know a lot of people don't do that. And me personally, I think even if you are resting, like sitting down in your house not doing anything, if you're on your phone, or if you're kind of doing normal things, which today's modern world does, you're not actually giving your nervous system a break. You're still being stimulated I think sometimes you need to just go out in nature and have that reset. So that, yeah, those were positive things for me. I definitely noticed more ups and downs in my mood. Yeah, it was kind of like when I was in my 20s partying days, like the Wednesday blues were real after the race. So that was interesting, but I felt like the slam itself is definitely achievable for almost anyone. Well, you did it in 6 days, well.
This isn't about me, mate.
No, I was going to say but it is achievable.
Yeah.
And I started having these thoughts then. I was thinking, if I feel good after Edam, why not do a 100-miler? I was thinking, especially like what's gone on previous years in my life, I was just thinking it's all good and well having a plan and thinking, oh no, I'll do it next year. But what's to say next year my life might be completely different, or I could have been fit and healthy to try the Sirona this year, but I said no, I'll wait till next year. And then next year, unfortunately, picked up an injury or an illness. You've got to strike when the iron's hot sometimes. And in hindsight, I think it was a masterstroke, because the slam is actually the perfect platform to do 100. That's just what I think anyway. So me and Mike started speaking about this, and then Ben from Sport and Mind said the 2 places came up, so it was like written in the stars. Next minute, I'm having a tracker fitted to me in Barmouth, ready to do the Sirona. So yeah, it was wild how it all kind of manifested and unfolded, but I learned the difference between a 100-miler and a 50-miler is night and day. Like, I cannot find the words. Then this is my own personal experience, so some people might think different. But for me, like, the Edam was a challenge, and everybody had bigged up the Edam as this, and it is a beast. It really is. It's like everyone who completes it gets their, earns their stripes, earns their medal. It is a really tough race. But nothing could have prepared me for how hard the Sirona was going to be, more mentally.
Yeah.
And the best thing about this community is everybody's open, everybody shares advice, everyone wants each other to succeed. Massive thanks to Jenks and Chris Let's Go and Dan Plod. I was leaning in a lot on those for information because, they've done multiple 100-milers, 200-milers. And they were saying to me, the difference with the 100-miler is once you get past, say, 60, 70 miles, it's mental. And I totally know what they mean. Like, my experience of the Sirona was just, it's very hard to put in words. But, yeah, after, for me personally, after 70 miles, it was total mental. Just a battle with myself, so many ups, so many lows. And I think unless you've got a big enough reason why, there's so many opportunities to quit, and most normal people would, to be honest. Unless you've got that powerful reason why, you would be very, very unlikely to do it. So many little things can go wrong, just like the experience in the whole race as well, that length of time. If you don't get the basics right, something can go wrong. It's different, but I absolutely loved that. I loved the Sirona. I was like, obviously, apart from my kids being born, it was the best experience of my life. It is the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah. What was your why then? If it's all about the why.
Yeah, so my why is, I've got multiple little whys that all add up to a big one. My kids. So I grew up without a dad. And it's really important for me to show them that you can do really difficult things which might seem impossible to most people, but if you put in the right mindset and the right work, you can achieve the impossible or really difficult things. Also, for me personally, where I came from 4 years ago, I just wanted to do it for that person back then and also my future self.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot of people say in the ultra scene, what are you running from? but I do feel like I'm running towards something. Like I had therapy last year, I went to therapy last year. I had 6 sessions, and that was massive as well. It was a total game changer for me. And yeah, I did a few different exercises, and it was the first time in my life coming out of there that I actually wanted to create plans and targets for myself. So I've got a goal in my head of where I want to be in X amount of time, and this is just part of the process. So doing the slam and the 100 miler are things ticked off to the big thing that I want to do. So
What's the big thing?
well, next year it's the owner slam, 3 100s, which I didn't think I would be saying that this time last year. But ultimately it's the Wild Horse 2027. That's, yeah, I feel like that would be the ultimate test. But I am learning in this community as well. Where does it end?
Yeah.
Does it end?
Does it end? Yeah. That's a good question. Like, where does it end? Because I look at everyone I know that's gone from doing an ultra, doing the slam, doing 100, doing 200.
Yeah.
How many 200s can you do in a year?
Well, exactly.
Where's like the next biggest race? Can I qualify for something?
That's something I think I remember doing a mid-season slam review, and something I brought up then was I was finding out quickly that I think this is a problem within the community. Like, people are doing so much that they're not actually appreciating some of the successes that they're having. They're constantly moving on to the next. So, you know, doing 100 mile is like a massive thing, but because they're already moving on to the next thing, they're not taking the time to appreciate how much of a big achievement that is. But I'm learning all about this, like in such a short amount of time. In my head, I've got, and I have since the start of the slam, that the Wild Horse 2027 would be this huge achievement. And I'm thinking in my head, maybe I'll rein it in a bit then and just always run on the trails, because it's just been such an amazing discovery for me. I'll never be able to leave that. But maybe try and do 1 or 2 ultras a year. But I'm finding out that's probably unlikely.
Yeah, it's that thing that Chris Willocks talks about a lot, where it's like you've already achieved things that you said would make you happy. And it's like, yeah, for me, like, I remember my first ultra, I signed up and, like, I did it in the thoughts of, like, that's the ultimate for me. It's like, oh, wow, like an ultra? Like,
Yeah.
I watched the Barkley documentary and I was like, wow, I'd love to do an ultra. And I signed up to, like, an ultra and did it. And then in your head, then you're like, well, I've done it. Like, there's got to be more. But then where does that more end? Where is that ultimate, like, oh, this is the finish?
This is the dopamine as well, isn't it? You know, the whole process of it. The training, the building up to something, then you do something. But it's just like biochemistry then, isn't it? Your dopamine wants that again.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to stop. Like, you look at all endurance sports, and it's usually like a life committed to that certain discipline then, isn't it?
Yeah. I see it as a lot of, because it's becoming a lot more popular now, and in my mind, people are probably going to disagree with this, but ultras are an easy achievement in a way. Because, like, if you do, like, another sport, like, there's no real, like, big achievement there unless you're, like, top class athlete. Like, you look at football, like, you can go and play football and just have a laugh. And you're like, well, I'm never going to make it to, like, the Premier League or whatever. Like, I don't follow football, so, like, irrelevant to me. But, like, you're never going to make it to the Premier League unless you do. And then that's, like, the big thing. And it's like, well, like, there's nowhere to go from here. I just got to keep playing at this top level. Whereas with ultras, it's like anyone can be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go run an ultra. And although I'm not going to win it, like, that's a massive achievement. Like, the sense of achievement is there no matter who you are, how fast you run it, even what distance it is. And I think it's become so accessible an achievement that more and more people are getting into it. And like you're saying, they're almost getting like addicted.
Oh yeah.
And then the way I see it is people they're either just doing it for enjoyment, like Plod doesn't care about winning. He just loves doing it. And like I know like at any point he could just stop entering events. He's not gonna, but like he can like tail off. He's not chasing like a bigger and bigger thing. He's just like, oh, like this is just fucking funny to do it. Or you get injured and then you lose the love for it. And I don't see enough people doing what Plod's doing where it's like, I'm enjoying it, I can stop whenever I want. It's always that next achievement until they're broken.
Yeah, I suppose there's different entries into it, and people are doing it for different reasons as well. So you'll have the top tier of people who are doing it, who are machines who are constantly trying to break their time or course record or break into the top 10. Then you have kind of a tier of people who are doing it not just to complete it, but to try and get as high up of that bracket. And then you do have other people who are doing it just for the pure enjoyment.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing it for their own reason, aren't they?
Yeah. But it's just that chasing thing.
This is chasing.
Because like some people, like they're like, I've done a 30 miler, I'm happy with that, and I'll keep doing 30 milers.
Yeah.
And that's like that sort of Plod mentality that I see of like, this is just fun and I like doing it, but I don't need to keep pushing. Like I've pushed, like I'm fine there.
I'm fine there.
But it's the people, and I think this is maybe a downside of having such a good community, is because everyone else is then doing it. You're like,
it's normalized, isn't it? Yeah, it's definitely normalized. I think it would have. Well, it doesn't really, but if you think the progression of it, you do the slam, you do a 50 miler, maybe I want to do a 100 miler, maybe I want to do 200 miler. There's not really that much more after that distance. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't see many people being like, oh, I'm going to run 500 miles or 1,000 miles. To me, anyway, at the moment, it seems like the Wild Horse is like this huge, like, achievement, really, really tough task to take on. Where can you really go from there? But again, I'm quite naive going into this. So
I mean, you started the year thinking that you was going to do a 40
miler.
miler.
That was the goal.
And now you've done 9 ultras.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm doing the Hateful 8 next month. That's my last race for the year. I felt on the rhythm. My legs were heavy, like really heavy, the heaviest they've been the whole slam. But then when I sat back and thought, I think it's 6 or 7 weeks I've done 100 miler, 50 miler, and a 30 miler. So you're gonna have heavy legs. So definitely need a rest. I'm just gonna kind of maintain and take over the winter. Looking forward to spending more time in the gym, to be honest. And well, I would say indoor climbing, but that's frowned upon with you, isn't it? Maybe I'll try some outdoor climbing with you, and then just building it up again. But it's been an unbelievable year, and saying the things that I've done this year, it doesn't seem quite real, to be honest, because where I was this time last year, I never would have thought it. So yeah, I think sobriety's been a massive thing for me as well. I think it's important for me to say that. I'm 11 months sober.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And
coming up to a year.
I have done 2 years in the past, but this time it feels different. It's the first time I know I'm not missing out. I'm gaining, and finding something like ultra running in the community, it's just made me realize there's so many more things you can be doing and not missing out. It's not as if like a Friday or a weekend comes and you're not doing anything. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's loads of really cool stuff to do, stuff to challenge yourself that doesn't involve drinking. And I find in the ultra scene it's a balance of both. There's a lot of sober people and there's a lot of people who enjoy drinking on the races.
Yeah. Yeah, we all know who we're talking about. How many pub stops can you
get in? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, not for me. I'll stick with the sober people, I think. So, what made you sign up for the 300s then?
I remember in June, I was volunteering for Epona, and where I was at that stage, I'd never been up to Abergavenny. And then the night before the race, so on the Friday, I just went up on my own to run up to Sugarloaf. And I was pretty humble, to be honest, and I thought, these mountains are different. And then on the day when I was volunteering, I went up to like Gospels Pass and Talibont Res, and I just thought it just blew my mind, to be honest. I thought, this course is unbelievable. There's nothing like I'd ever seen. I thought, where I was in that moment, 100 miles on that course was by far a stretch too far. So where I am now, I've done the Sirona. Some people a lot of people were saying they thought the Sirona was tougher than the Epona, to be honest, but I suppose that's dependent on your own experience in the race. So I thought, I'll have to do the Epona now, because when it was run last year, I didn't think it was achievable. Now I think I would have a good chance of doing it. You know, I put everything into it to complete it. I'd already agreed with Lee, Mike and Craig to do the Sirona next year. So if I'm doing the Epona and the Sirona, well, you might as well
Throw another one
do
in
the
there.
three. And I think people were originally saying that you were going to get a crown,
Yeah.
but now it's an axe. That's
an
what
axe.
I've been told, but I don't know.
I
These
don't
Chinese
listen to all of
whispers.
these rumours.
Yeah,
Lots of red herrings thrown out by Reese and Keris.
yeah, it changes. So yeah, I think that would be the perfect prep as well for the wild horse.
Yeah.
3 100s, well, it'd be 4 100s going into the wild horse. Although on the bus up to the Sirona, a few people are saying they went from 30 miles to wild horse and from 50 miles to wild horse. So there's no correct path, is it? It all depends. I think mentally, like your mindset is more important than anything.
Yeah. I don't think that there's really a proper way to train for 100-mile plus races. Like, because, yeah, you can... It's like you've got the miles in your legs from running ultras. Like, no matter what ultras you're doing, if you're following like a proper training plan, you're going to have the running mileage in your legs for doing it long enough. But you can only do so much on like a long run. There's only so many back-to-back long runs you can do. So then it's like, well, how much more training can you put into a 100-miler? Like, I don't think it's really that much.
Again, this is my own experience of my first 100-miler. I felt that all of the training and the races I did going into Sirona, I felt it wasn't a question about my legs or my body. It was definitely a question of the mind. I don't know how you can train or mimic what's going to happen. I spoke to Lee Davis about this actually when he came to Revive, and he was saying, because for me it was the night section that things started to go wrong. And me and you did Dusk Till Dawn. Loved that event, by the way. And I felt amazing all the way through that, running through the night, fueling, hydration, cognitive ability to be able to nav. I felt great. Gave me a lot of confidence going into it. But then you're pretty much running an Edam and then going into a night section when you do a 100-miler. And yeah, things went wrong fast. Kat was pacing me, and yeah, she probably saved my life, to be honest, because I just remember we came out of Aberystwyth, we went up these 2 massive climbs, and I was just waking up on the floor. And you're on cliff edges. So it's like sleeping for 2 minutes and then running for a bit, sleeping on the floor again for 2 minutes. And when I got to I think it was checkpoint 5, I've never felt like that before. I had nothing left. And because I did so many things wrong through that night section, I couldn't take on any fluids, couldn't eat without feeling sick. It was almost the end of my race. And I remember, because Kat was going to run with me to checkpoint 6. And I was like, oh, I need to stay here for a little bit. So she went on. As soon as she left then, it was pretty good that I was on my own, because I was like, I need to sort myself out here. So I forced some food on me. And then when I got outside, the sun rises there, and like your internal body clock, your circadian rhythm kicks in, and I felt amazing then until the end of the race. So I was trying to think how you can mimic that, and Lee was saying maybe like fast all day, so don't eat any food all through the day, and then going out for like a 3-4 a.m. run whilst you fasted, just to kind of mimic it. But it's difficult. I don't really know what. I think you've just got to take that leap from 50 to 100, because even if you did 60 or 70 miles, you're not really going to replicate what it's going to be like. But it's so important to have, I think anyway, that reason why. And you've just got to have a mindset of, yeah, it's difficult to explain until you've experienced it. But it won't be your legs, or most of the time it won't be your legs that will give up. It's your mind. There's so many opportunities.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you just got to try it, don't you? Whoever's willing to try it, just go for it.
I mean, I still haven't done 100 miler, so
Well, you're not counting the 6 and 6, are you?
No, because that's 6 days. Like, that's different distance each day. That's not a 100 miler.
No, I was wondering if you did it technically within 24 hours, but you wouldn't have, would you? Because no.
I mean, when I did Edam, that took me like 20 hours? Something silly.
I remember seeing you on that. You were way ahead of me, checkpoint 1. And then I run a bit with you, and you were moving really well. You were moving quick. And then I got to the next checkpoint 2. So your mum and dad, I was like, yeah, he's doing amazing. He's moving so well. They were like, what about his hamstring? I was like, what about his hamstring? and then I found out then what had happened.
Yeah.
So, you definitely do 100. But the 6 and 6 was, yeah. I run bits of the Vogan with you on day, what was that?
Day 3.
Day 3. And to think that you carried on from then. Yeah.
I thought I was broken at that point. But when you saw me and I was like, oh, I got to have my headphones in and like powering through, I thought like I was coming towards the end. And then like day 5 hit and I was just like, no, okay, this is the real pain. This is where it really starts hurting.
It was unbelievable just witnessing it all, and then it was really cool like sharing it on the Edam with everybody.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That you were going through that. But yeah, respect for that, man. That was I've never seen anything like it, honestly. It was amazing.
Yeah, but you've done 100 miles before me. I laughed when I saw that you'd signed up for Sirona, because I was just like, gone from the slam and then being like, I don't know how you're going to do this in a week, to then being like, yeah, I'll do 100 miles.
Yeah.
Very short notice. Like, yeah, why not?
That's kind of what happened, though. I think I started having the thoughts. What was the third race? The Vogum. Started having the thoughts from Vogum, and then I started like trying to get the mindset of every little micro decision that I was making. Like, what would the version of me that does 100 miles do? And I was getting a bit obsessed with it, to be honest, but it was working and getting me into a headspace. I did feel like going into Sirona, I was in an amazing like mental place. Like, there was no doubt in my mind I was going to do it. I knew it was going to be tough. I think mindset in those types of races massively bears more than physical.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's because I know the cut-off time's generous. I think they could probably even offer 10 hours more. I think it wouldn't really make a difference if somebody is gonna do it or not, because if you're at that point of you're gonna quit, it's not the time. It's you just don't want to be in that situation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They could offer 60 hours, and I think if somebody's had enough 50 miles in, they're just not going to do it.
Yeah. It's just the logistics of managing it all. Like, they've got to like rent out all these places, sort out volunteers, like all of that. So
yeah, shut the checkpoints off at certain times and that. Yeah.
So I get why they do it, because I've been obviously the other side when I was sweeping Epona and being behind the cut-offs on that, and I was just like, okay, yeah, this is making it a long day for me, and I'm only doing like 2 checkpoints. Like,
yeah,
imagine like all the volunteers and everyone else is going by. Like,
yeah,
Yeah, I can completely see why they cut it off at 50, because that's a very generous cut. 2 miles an hour. Like,
It is, but like I'm trying to say though, I don't think it's the time that gets people. It's more if you've got that will to keep on going through the dark parts, because when your mind goes, it's very hard to get it back. Like some people, you know, are getting into some checkpoints way ahead of cut-off time. You know, like that wasn't an issue. As soon as people were walking into checkpoints, some people are just like, I'm done. That's it.
yeah,
Once your mind goes, it's very hard to get it back. But it does come back. I think one of the advantages with the cut-off time is if somebody walks in like that, you know, you can just sit around, sort your feet out, get some food down you, and you will start to feel better. But yeah, those last like 15, 16 miles from me were just something else. There was a part where like Ryan surprised me, which was amazing, gave me a massive boost. And then when Ryan left me, you go up to a military base. It seemed like a military base anyway. And then you go on the coastal path, and it's not easy for the public to get down there. So there was a section where I didn't see anyone. I didn't even see a runner because I was finishing the race really strong. I must have been on my own for about 3 hours, and I felt like I genuinely lost the plot. Like I was hallucinating. I was convinced it was a dream, which seems strange and funny to say, but when you actually believe that reality, it was actually quite scary.
yeah,
I like the sun was setting, and I was like, that can't be right. I should have finished about 3-4 hours ago. But it was as scary as it was an amazing moment. It really was. And then when I got to, is it Montbay? Is that how people say it? I started seeing campers and civilization and stuff again. And yeah, it was just really emotional. It like the hundreds are really emotional. Like God knows what the wild horse is going to be like after watching Chris's videos on YouTube. But yeah, my own experience of it was there was so many ups and downs that it's almost like 10 years of life experiences, your successes and your lows, the lowest of the lows, all congested into, you know, less than 2 days. It's like a full-on experience.
yeah. It's, yeah. I can't quite get my head around it yet because I haven't done it, but yeah, I know so many people that have done it now that talking about it seems a bit surreal because, like we've been saying, like it's become normalised. So then it's just like, oh yeah, like anyone can do a 100-miler. And then it's like when we get into like the details and you being like, well, I was hallucinating, and again, like in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, that's normal. And then I'm like, this really isn't normal.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a really difficult thing. Like, what do they say? Like 1% of people in the world run a marathon. So how many people are running 100-milers? Like, it's minimal.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that.
Exactly. And like I say, because I'm new in this community, like I've gone from never an ultra to 100-miler in 8 months or whatever it is. Like for me, it is like, no, this is not a normal experience. Like I've come out of it with, it's definitely benefited me. I've got like so much more belief in myself, but I don't think the experience of doing 100-miler should be underestimated. And maybe because it's normalized and you know lots of people in, like especially the Pegasus community who do it, you're like, yeah, let's run 100-miler. It's far from a normal experience. For me, it was a profound experience. It felt like a religious experience. It was, you know, it was on par with in my 20s when I was having hallucinogenic experiences. It genuinely was. But yeah, I loved it so much. I'm doing 3 next year.
Oh, you do make me laugh. Like, yeah, you're definitely like caught in the ultra trap of like, yeah, like let's keep going. Like, why not do 300-milers in a year? Like,
yeah. You know what? There's a lot of people doing the owner slam next year.
yeah,
There's when I finish the rhythm, there's loads of people doing it. Even people who are doing their first 100s are just doing the whole slam as well. I think it's going to be an amazing year next year. And you've announced that you're doing it, yes? So
Slightly different, but yeah.
Do you want to go into it?
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to be doing all three in the same fashion that I did the Pegasus Slam. I'm just going to go back to back because why wait in between?
That is going to be legendary. You need to have that properly documented, like, especially I haven't done Epona yet, but Sirona in the middle of it as well. And I know you love Coastal Path, don't you?
Oh yeah, it's my favourite. Can't wait for Sirona. Do you know what got me? Finish line of the rhythm. We're sat there having a chat. Jenks comes over and he was like, "Oh, Will, you should do Sirona next year."
Yeah.
And then you're just looking at me like smirking, and I'm just like, "No, I really don't like the idea of Coastal Path." And you're just like, I could just see you looking at me like trying not to laugh. And Jenks is there like adamant trying to convince me about Sirona. And honestly, if it wasn't for this challenge, I wouldn't do Sirona. Like, I'm just not interested at all. But it was just the look that you were giving me.
Yeah,
just
that was
like,
straight off the finish line as well. Yeah, I was like, oh, well, you're in for a treat with Sirona because one thing I will say, even though it's like the Coastal Path 100, the diversion is a marathon out of the Coastal Path, like through the mountains and stuff. But when you get to both, you're on the Coastal Path then. When you get to Newquay, from Newquay to Cardigan, like that is Coastal Path. And the climbs and the narrow kind of Coastal Path, you're in for an absolute treat. I hope you love it. I hope you love Coastal Path by the end of it. It's really tough, that last section. Like, I know a lot of people were surprised by how many climbs there were. It was relentless, and they weren't small climbs. You've seen Jenks' picture as well, haven't you? That was a tough 100. And then we've got the Devona, which people think they know the route, but we probably don't really, do we?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not listening to any rumours. I'm just waiting for Reese to tell me.
Yeah.
And I, as much as I find it entertaining, I don't like these riddles.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to sign up. Like,
sign up, yeah.
I do find it entertaining. And when he was doing it for Sirona, I was like really invested. Not that I was going to do Sirona, but like I didn't think I could do 100 miler then. I'm still not fully convinced. But
you can definitely do it. I've got no doubt in my mind. After seeing 6 and 6, you'll do it well. You will do it.
Yeah, but yeah, my challenge is terrifying. Like,
yeah, that is
absolutely terrifying because it's pretty much the same amount of time that I had for the slam, except there's 100 more miles.
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's the sleep deprivation.
It's the travelling from one to the other. That's going to be because, Barmouth is a drive, isn't it? So I don't know how you're going to manage that, but I'm sure you've worked it all out logistically.
You think I've figured that out already? You think I figured any of this out? Like, shout out Berryman.
Yeah,
she organised everything.
Yeah, fair play to Joe. That was amazing organisation. I'll definitely help out with the owner slam. Well, you're gonna do it, aren't you? After the 6 and 6, no one can doubt you. Will.
I can doubt me. I can doubt me a lot. Like, this is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Like in my head, I was like, yeah, like you were saying, where it like builds up. It's like, yeah, it's the logical next step for me. Like, you do the slam and then you do 100. Whereas for me, it's like, well, I've done it in a week. Like, I'll do the 100 slam in a week. It's the next progression. Yeah. And then I've like sat back and looked at it and been like, what the fuck have I done?
That's a beast. That is a beast.
Because like the travel time between, I'm included in the cut-off times. Because I'm following the cut-off times. I try and make everything official like I did with the slam. I start each one at 7 o'clock without fail.
Yeah.
Like, I got to start because that's the official start time. I only get help at the checkpoints because that's official, or as close to as I
Yeah.
could get, because some of them are private land, and I was making everything as official as I could. And I want to do the same for this. I don't want any doubt in, not other people's minds, but in my mind that I've done it. I don't want to like think back and being like, oh well, like that's, I could have done it more official. Like I had more support than other people would have had, and I don't want any of those questions in my mind. So I'm like, right, I've got the 50 hours per event, and because I've lined it up with Devona, I was like, right, from the start line of Devona, I'm taking away 100 hours. And that's my start
Worked it
time.
out that way.
And I have to get to the fucking start line. I can't overrun on the other two because then I can't start Devona.
Yeah.
That's an official event. I can't miss that.
What I would say about the Sirona, the good thing is, unlike the Epona, you kind of run in through seaside towns. So there are opportunities to get like emergency things if you want to. So I stopped in a shop, I'd, ice cream, banana. Chris found it funny, I had a banana. But the checkpoint 5 or 6 was it, where was Joe Berry was bumbling Aberiron.
Yeah.
From there to Llangrannog, that was a slog. Like it felt like a really big distance between the checkpoints, especially in the heat. Although then I've spoke to Jenks and Chris and they've told me the distances and the checkpoints on Wild Horse, like some of them are like 31 miles.
Yeah, the first one is first checkpoint.
Yeah. That's one thing I noticed on Sirona as well, like packing the bag, the organisation and stuff you need, those little bits of detail to make things easier for you when you get out. That was a big shock for me. And it's just going to be tenfold for that for Wild Horse. So I really need to kind of home in on the organisational side of it, because a 30 mile, I feel you can get away with it. You can do a lot wrong. You can get away with it.
Mate, look at my rhythm. Like, yeah. I basically didn't want to stop in the checkpoints because I just didn't want to see people. Like I was in my own head.
Yeah, man.
So I was just like, I just want to run. So that's what I'm going to do. So I carried 3 litres of liquids with me, like 2 litres of water, a litre of electrolyte drinks. And then I packed like 6 squares bars, 6 Mars bars, 2 packets of sweets. And I was like, that's enough to get me through a 50k. I didn't eat any of it.
Yeah.
I literally didn't eat. Like I stopped off at the checkpoints. There was one point at the start where I was like, I should probably have some of my sweets. So I had like literally a couple of jelly snakes. Other than that, I just had fruit at the checkpoints, and then that was me.
That was it. Yeah, it seems to be a common theme amongst people as well. Like when you've done longer distances, you get back to a 30, you get across the finish line with a bag full of food and electrolytes and stuff. I do think you can get away with it on a 30. 40, less window. 50, you can't really. Well, it'd be difficult to kind of mess up badly and do it. 100, it's not. You need to show it respect. Like it's a beast. But I just love the whole format, and I don't know, like the whole experience of it. I felt like 100 was like a true test. So
I always say, because people are like, not that I've ever done 100, but like 100 isn't just like doing 250s.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
not.
like doing a 50 isn't even like doing 230s. Like a 50 is like miles harder than doing a 30.
Yeah.
Like that's a massive step up, and that's only 20 miles. You haven't even doubled the distance. So then going from 50 to 100.
Yeah, it's different. Like the first up to Aberystwyth, which was 54 miles, I felt amazing. I got in like an hour and a half quicker than I thought, but I hadn't felt like I'd gone too quick. Felt really good. Everything was spot on. It was that night section. It was, yeah, and then you just get delirious, like sleep deprived, and it's a long way home. It really is. I do feel like it's the ultimate test, and you've probably got to go quicker than you would on something like the 200 as well, because the cut-off time again is even more generous, 120 hours for the 200 miler.
So
yeah, so
I haven't even looked. That's how disinterested I am in wild horse.
Yeah, you don't want to do that, do you?
Yeah, no,
A
I've
lot
got
of
no
people say
interest.
that as well. Yeah, they're not interested in the wild horse.
It's just one of those things, like I always say it, like, if someone says it and it sparks something in me, then I know I'm going to do it, like, instantly.
I thought it would because you love the mountains, don't you? That's where you live
I
up
do
there.
love the mountains, yeah.
Yeah, and that's like the ultimate mountain race, isn't it? For like
Well, for
5
me,
days
like,
or
a
whatever it
Pona
is.
is. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I like, no matter what, I was going to be doing a Pona next year. Like, just sweeping the first 2 checkpoints. I was never interested in a Pona, really, before I swept the first 2 checkpoints, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, I love this course.
Yeah. It's unbelievable just looking at it, isn't it? Yeah.
And it just, yeah. But, like, back then as well, like, I was like, I can't even imagine doing a 100-miler. And I still can't. And it's like, yeah, like, it's still a massive thing. But Epona is the one of the 3 that, like, I really want to do.
Well, yeah.
The other 2, like, I don't know anything about Devona because I'm not listening to anything. So I'm just like, Devona's going to be Devona. Sirona I've got 0 interest in, as you know. And then just, yeah, the wild horse, both the wild horse events, I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'd rather go and do, like, Snowdon 24 or something. Do that again.
But the way your challenges are progressing, you're doing 6 and 6, now the owner slam. Next year you're going to have to do the 2 wild horses back to back.
No.
And then the year off.
This is the thing, like, what I was saying earlier with, like, the reasons why people run. Like, Dan's very much like, oh, this is fun and he can stop whenever he wants. I feel like people assume that I'm just that, like, chasing that next bigger, which, like, I am a bit with this Honor series, but, like, that was just me, like, that clicked with me. But I've got loads of other challenges. Like, at any point I could step away from running. I just I haven't reached the point where I feel like I've maxed out my running yet. That's when I stop things. I get bored of things. If I get bored of something, then I'm done with it. I'm not bored of running yet.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that as well. It's not necessarily the discipline, it's the mindset going into it, isn't it? Yeah. I found that with when I first started the cold water dip in, like when we had the first proper frozen winters here, I was like digging up literally ice, going underneath the ice water and stuff, and I was really excelling myself. But then once I'd done all that, and we don't get many winters like that, I was kind of, even though I still do it every day, you kind of lose your passion. It's like, oh, what's next? So now my thing is ultras.
Yeah.
But it's not necessary to say that it'll always be. It could be anything. Do you know what I mean?
And this is what I feel like. This is what people are gonna learn about me. If you knew me before I started doing the ultras, like, if you don't know me from the ultra community, you know that I jump about things a lot. Like, that's why I can do so many things. That's why I can just go out rock climbing if I want, and, like, I'm decent at it. But then I can go and flip a tyre for hours, and I can spend, like, hours in the gym, or I can go free running, or I can do this, or I can do that. Because I've done the same with all of them. I've got to a point where I've just then not been enjoying it anymore, and then I've started something that I'm shit at, basically, because I like that learning process.
Yeah.
I haven't learnt enough about running yet. Like, I feel like I've just started to get to a point where it's like, oh, okay, like, I know about running, but I can see how much more there is.
It's probably a good point with running as well, because there are a lot of runners that end up injured and can't run anymore. So if running is your kind of vehicle at the moment to get all of that, I don't know, whatever it is out of you, there might be a time where that's not an option. So it's probably a good idea to keep your options open to lots of other things that you could potentially do that.
That's the point of adventure athletes, mate.
Well, I was going to say, this is it. Yeah, it doesn't have to be running.
Yeah, it's just find your adventure, like, and it doesn't have to be the same thing all the time. Like, I got really into, before doing running, it was the tyre flip, obviously. Like, I spent 6 months prepping for that. Did that for, just countless stupid hours. Before that, it was rock climbing. I did, like, a solid 18 months where I was rock climbing, like, more than I'm running now. Like, I would go out for the weekends on my own and just go climbing. Like, I'd learnt loads about climbing. When I started climbing, I knew nothing about it. I watched a documentary and then I went and blagged my way into a job in a rock climbing gym. And then by the time I left, I was one of like the more experienced people in that gym, even though people had worked there for years, because I just get so invested. And then I got bored of it, I went and did something else, and I came back to it, and then I was like, oh, there's more for me to learn. So I went from being like a competent climber to then learning how to free solo, rope solo, do all the rope rescue stuff, and like I just learn everything I can. That's why I've got so much equipment. Like, you don't need that much equipment, but then because I want to do all the technical stuff, I'm like, okay, like I want to learn about it. And then I learnt about it all, and then I was like, okay, what's my next challenge?
Yeah.
And like I've gone off of that, but like I can dip in and out and enjoy it, and that's fine. Like, I like doing that, but I always have like an obsession. Right now my obsession's running, and everyone's now just assuming, oh, because I'm doing these challenges, that's going to be his obsession forever now, like he's a runner. And it's like, no, I'm not going to be. Like, I know I'm not going to be.
Yeah, I can draw a lot of parallels on that, just the way my life's gone as well. If I like something, I will go 100% all in. You know, whether it's surfing when I was younger or like playing guitar, partying in my 20s, you know, I really partied in my 20s, or running or cold water dipping. Yeah, I can definitely see where that is. So yeah, maybe after Wild Horse it will be something else.
Yeah.
Maybe rock climbing, who knows?
Yeah, but this is what I hope for people, because you'll see, like, I always use like football or rugby as an example. You get to that top level, that's all you've done in your life, is you focus so hard on that one thing, and then it's done. And then it's like, well, what do you do after you finish football? You can try and stay in as a coach or something. There's fewer coach positions than there are player positions, so it's like, well, only so many people can go into coaching. What about the ones that aren't interested in coaching? What do they do? And the amount of them that get depressed because they've had no other life experience and no other life skills, and they don't know what to do, and they just end up turning into like drugs and drink and stuff. And it's like, well, do you want to be like that? Like, yeah, you've got like, this is the difference with ultras, which is what I was saying, like, is so achievable, but then you're still going to have that thing of like, that's your thing away from the rest of your life. When that goes, say you're injured, say you just can't keep up with the distances anymore, say you just get bored of it, what do you do then? Like, I don't want to be in a position where I then fall into like a massive depression because I just can't do that thing anymore. I want to just be like, oh, well, I'll just go back and try this, or I'll try something new, and be open to just, because people are always like, oh, I don't want to try something new because I'm going to be bad at it, and then that makes me feel shit. And it's like, yeah, you're going to be bad at it. Like, that's the fun part.
Yeah. Being
bad at something. And that's why I love Adventure Athletes, because I've specifically made a brand that's not focused on one thing. Like, this isn't a running podcast, despite what everyone thinks these days.
It is at the moment, isn't it? But
it's not, because I've had some rock climbers on, I've had triathletes, like,
yeah,
I've had a swimmer on, like, that's got fuck all to do with running.
Yeah, I haven't seen those ones, probably
because it's not running.
Yeah, I was going to say, like,
you're into running.
I'm in the bubble at the minute, and that's why everything's getting shared about that. Yeah.
So like, I love that about the brand, because it's not just running. I'm not a running brand. Like, I work with everyday people. I work with a lot of runners because that's what I'm known for at the minute. But then I work with other people from different sports, and I love that. Like, my massage studio's in a swim school.
Yeah,
so,
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't just want to be defined by that. I want to it's just another bow to the string.
On the massage point, that's been a massive thing for me, recovery-wise as well. Never had them before, but I've been having like at least 2, 1 week before race, 1 few days after. I feel like that's been massive recovery, and revive the ice baths and that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll have to give me a massage someday. That sounds strange, but yeah.
Bit of a weird thing to
I was going to say.
You already refer to this as a casting couch, so like, quick massage.
Yeah.
Got been in my room with the chains and the ropes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's have a look at your goodies. I've been like waiting to ask about seeing the buckle. Like,
yeah.
The thing is, like, even when I saw the buckles, like, Epona, I was like, amazing. Like, I can't wait to get that.
you've got all of these. These are the Slam medals.
Yep.
All of the 6.
Mine are just behind you.
And you get Owain made the block of wood. And then the beauties. I think this is the best medal ever.
See, this is what I mean. Like, even that doesn't interest me. Like, I look at these and I'm like, yeah, that's nice and everything, but then I looked at the Epona ones and I was just like, that is just
Because of the trig.
that was one thing,
Yeah.
but like, just I don't know what it is about it. I just really like the colours on it. I just prefer, and just the whole design of it. Like, it's a good design. This is very Pegasus,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, that I don't know. It just doesn't spark anything in me. When I saw that post where they put like the Epona and the Sirona buckles up originally, and like you swipe between them, I looked at the Epona one and I was like, wow.
That means something more to you, and that's absolutely fine, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, these like
It's a bigger medal as well, isn't it? The Sirona one.
oh, is it?
Yeah, they're bigger medals. It felt like it was, isn't it? Or maybe it's not. I was definitely hallucinating on the finish line.
You're like, bloody hell, this medal's
I was
massive.
like, whoa.
It's the size of your head in your mind.
I was gonna say, yeah.
That's a fair amount of bling for someone that started running ultras this
It's
year.
all spiraled out of control. I haven't got the Dusk Till Dawn one with me as well. But
That's alright, I've got mine.
Yeah,
behind
you've got
you.
yours back
You
here.
can just pull that out, add
Yeah.
that to the collection.
there we go, second place. I was third behind you, and
Yep.
that was great. That was. What did I come away from that race with? An infected eye.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
I didn't know this.
from the bogs. So
I just remember the first bog when we first like went past each other,
yeah.
and I was going out and you were coming in, I think, and you were like trying to like skirt your way round the bog, and I was just like
You
straight
were
through
just
the
straight
middle.
through. Yeah, you were gunning the whole thing, weren't you? Fair play to you. No, I remember driving home on the M4, and I started to feel a bit tired. My eye was itching, and I was like, oh, maybe it's just the sleep deprivation. I woke up the next morning, my eye was like this. I was like, what? Yeah, I was infected. I had to have antibiotics cream for my eye. That was from the bogs. So yeah, no, I loved that race. Good experience.
I hated it. I had a really terrible experience on that
Me and
race.
Rose found you on loop 4, was it?
I can't even remember.
Yeah. You were full
It was a
sending
rough
it
one.
every lap though, you know.
Yeah.
I was working it out. I was like, how can I get 4 laps in here, conservatively? Every time I passed you, you were like flying.
I was going as much as I could. That was the goal. Just get as many as you can, and then because that was 10 days before my 6.
Yeah, it was actually, wasn't
Yeah, it
it?
was like, and everyone was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Oh, I'm here. Like, I'm here to compete."
Yeah, you were as well.
And then, yeah, it was when I finished that. How many laps did you do? 4.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
we
I-
worked out
so I
44
did-
miles, I think. Yeah.
I did 4 as well, but I had time to go out for another. But I figured out that if I went out for another, like, I would then not be able to go out for the 6th anyway. And the guy that had gone out before me, there was no way I was catching him.
D was flying, wasn't he?
Yeah, so then I was like, well, it's pointless me going out because I've got 2nd. I've had a shit time, like I've been throwing up all night and almost shat myself, as everyone saw.
Did you or
Chris-
didn't you? I
I
thought you
didn't,
did.
no.
You didn't, no.
No, I didn't in the end. I thought I did, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But I was throwing up. I threw up at least like 10 times on that 4th lap.
Why do you think that was? Just full sending it, or?
No, just there was something about my electrolytes that just didn't sit well. But like they're the electrolytes that I've used every single day for the past year. So I've got no idea why they didn't sit well, and I've changed since. So
What have you changed to now?
the salt stick chews.
Ah, you have those, yeah. What, just those? Just the chew ones?
Yeah, and I've got some bits. People were bringing like electrolyte tabs and stuff for when I was on my 6, and they just got dumped in a box, and I'm just
Yeah.
working my way through them, to be honest.
Just trial. This is what all these races are for as well. Trialing.
Well, that was meant to
Stuff.
be me, but just being like, I've trialed everything. I've done like what 9 ultras by that point this year. So then I was like, I've trialed everything I need to trial. Like, this is what works for me. Like, I know squares bars goes down well, Mars bars, certain sweets I like. Then I've got my electrolytes, and then everything else, like, I just pick and choose as I go. And then it just all fucking went to shit, and I was just like, oh, okay. Like, that's great. 10 days before my 6, and now I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do.
An ultra will always do that, though. Something you think works well, one day it won't, and then it throws that doubt in your head. You're like, oh, was it this? Was it that? I was like that on Rhythm. I usually use the precision electrolytes, which are amazing, but I tried, again, the disrespect for a 30. I thought I'll be fine with high 5, and I didn't get along with those at all. I felt very sick the last kind of 7-8 miles. Didn't feel like I was getting enough sodium in them. There's much lower sodium content in those. But then someone like Rod, for example, Rod's had lots of salt issues with cramping and stuff, but he was saying he gets along with high 5. So you just got to try stuff, haven't you?
Yeah. Rhythm was a good experience.
I loved it. Yeah.
I was glad that I've run it in the end. I think I had like a decent race.
It was a good
Not my
surprise,
best,
mine,
but-
for everyone, wasn't it? Because you were there, we were all standing on the start line, and the next minute you were like, just pulled out of your jacket the race number and put it on. We were like,
No, I'd never put my race number on.
oh, you didn't?
That
I
whole
saw you
race.
pull it out. You did pull it out, though, didn't you?
No, I just put my bag on.
Oh, I thought you might have shown me it. I wasn't sure. And Reese run it as well,
Yeah.
which is amazing. I couldn't believe that was his first
Pegasus.
Pegasus. Yeah. I was watching.
Well, it's I think pretty much since he started it, he's been having his hip issue, so he was waiting for the surgery, and now he's had the surgery. So
yeah. Seeing the videos of him crossing the line with his son, that was awesome. Yeah, I know what that feels like. Vogum crossed the line with my boys, and that's definitely a highlight for me. You know, yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I honestly think you've been smashing it, mate. Like, look at all of that.
Yeah. I don't really know. I say I don't know how it happened, but then I look back and the amount of sacrifices I've had to make over the last 9-10 months, then I can realise how I've done it.
Has it been worth it?
100%. This has been the best year of my life. It's just the beginning. Well, it's all geared towards next year now, but yeah, no, it just goes to show that where I was last year was not a good place at all. You can completely change your life around in, I think 6 months is a good amount of time. If you really commit to something, try and change all the micro habits, and more importantly, the way that you speak about yourself, not just out loud, but internally as well. Like, I think the words that you say, the language that you use has a massive bearing on who you start to think you are as a person. And from doing that week to week, month to month, within 6 months' time, it's like your whole circuitry of your brain is completely different. That's been my experience anyway.
How do you make that change? Because it's easier said than done. Like, how do you start talking about yourself positively in your head? Like, I know a lot of people won't struggle with that. Like, for some people that's natural, and they're like, what do you mean you talk down on yourself? But for someone like me, like, I still talk down on myself constantly.
Everyone's on their own journey, and everyone's got their own path or outcome where they want to go to. For me, after going to therapy this time last year, it was the first time in my life it created urgency. So I did an example, a test where I had to imagine myself in 5 years' time, you know, a place where I want to be. What does that look like? What sort of lifestyles am I doing? And then me and my future self in 5 years write a letter back to myself to say what it feels like. And then I had to do the same exercise, but in 5 years' time, I hadn't made any changes in my life, and I was in the same situation I am now, but 5 years' time. And I actually had to actually write the letters out. I've still got the letters, and when I was doing that exercise, it sounds so simple, but it was like a eureka moment for me. It was like the catalyst of a sense of urgency. I was doing that. I was like, I am not willing to let myself feel the way I do now in 5 years' time. And that started the ball rolling. So then I started sobriety. It was like, what sort of habits in my life do I need to get out? And what do I need to implement? And then it's going to take time. It's not something you can just click like that overnight. But from like weeding out the things which are negative for you and introducing the things which are good for you, after a few months, my experience was things started to work. Community is massive as well, like who you surround yourself with. Just all those little things then kind of add up. That's my own personal experience, but I do feel grateful for it as well, because I know it's not as simple as that when you've got, you know, other kind of life forces and stuff going on. It could just be a stroke of bad luck in the middle of that then sets you back 3-4 months. Do you know what I mean? I've made a lot of sacrifices, made a lot of changes, but I have had a good run of things as well.
Yeah.
Like if I'd been injured in the middle of the slam, maybe that might have been a different path. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how I have done it anyway.
Do you think you're at the point you were saying earlier where you've done so much in such a short amount of time and you've already got your next goal that you haven't quite appreciated what you've done? Or do you feel like...
No, I
pretty
feel like I
content?
do. Yeah, I do. For me, to be honest, like the Sirona has totally overridden everything now. Which for me, originally it would have been crossing the rhythm line, would have been like the whole season kind of celebration. The Sirona just outweighs everything for me. And when I finished the Sirona, I definitely appreciated it, and it was a huge accomplishment for me. Personally, I don't feel like I have, but maybe it is something I need to think about as well. I do think it's important to keep moving forward, but equally you need to appreciate your successes. Where I am right now, I'm thinking about Hateful Eight. So I'm just working up to Hateful Eight. Hateful Eight will be the last race of the year, and then I will wind down the miles. I'll still be running for the winter, but no races, ticking over. And I think that will be my period of reflection, November, December, going into the new year. Kind of, wow, you know, I actually did all the things I said I was going to do the first time in my life. I've always said I was going to do things and knew that I was capable of doing it, but I've never actually done it, whereas this is the first year I have. So there will be a reflection period. But then equally, you just, like I say, what's done in the past is done in the past. You gotta keep going then, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I do just worry about that trap that we've been speaking about, like, and I see so many people falling into it of like, well, I've done that, so like more. Like I want more. And it is such a greedy mindset of like, because like you don't really do that in like the rest of your life, really. Like some people do. Some people are just wired to be chasing and building and trying to get the next big thing. But like most people, they just find their happy place and they stay there. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like I like challenging, like encouraging people to challenge themselves, but not to the point of this rich coming from me, but like not to the point of obsession.
Yeah.
Of like, I do think people need that, like, well, I've done this and I'm happy I've done this, and I'll keep doing things and I'll keep like stretching my comfort zone and pushing myself, but it doesn't have to be in the same thing, just like lots of different ways. Like for me, last year I did my first like public talk, and that was massive for me. That's stretching my comfort zone. All my challenges, I'm stretching my comfort zone. But like most people, like they've just got like a job and a family, and it's like you can be happy in that and you can do these things for fun. You don't have to keep chasing that. I want more from this. I want more from this. Because where is enough? And I just, I worry about people.
Yeah. No, I can totally get that as well. I think a lot of people are on different journeys of doing it. Like some people will be on a path of discovering the breaking point. For some people, like the goal is to find the breaking point. Now, some people might argue, why would you want to break yourself? Whereas other people might be like, well, that's you've discovered the limit that you're at that stage of your life, and that's how you progress. So I don't think there's any right or wrong answer.
Yeah. I just think for me, like, there are people that are obvious, like, it's obvious that that's what they're trying to do. Like, me and Plod talk about this all the time, where it's like, we get on so well because we sign up for nonsense. One, because it's fun and we enjoy it. And then secondly, because it's like, we are trying to, like, push and be like, well, how much can we get out of this?
Yeah.
Like, what's the most we can get out of this? And, like, that's the mentality we have, and we enjoy that, and we're open to being broken. Whereas other people I'm sort of seeing, like, I think me and Dan are probably bad examples for people because, like, they see us doing, like, this ridiculous stuff and it makes things seem more achievable, and they don't realise, like, everything else that we do to prepare ourselves for it, and then they sign up, and then it's like, I do feel like people are sometimes biting off a bit more than they can chew because they've got other more important things in their life. And then they're going to get to the point where they break, and they might not be prepared to be broken, like me and Plod are. Like, me especially, like, I live on my own. This is my business. I've built my life around this for a reason. And it's like, yeah, if I do something and I break myself, everyone's like, oh yeah, that's Will. Whereas, like, if someone like you with kids to break yourself, then it's like, how's that going to affect your kids? How's that going to affect your family? Like, how's that going to affect your work? And it's like,
100%. Yeah, and when I was planning my next year's plans, that's what I have been thinking. Like, there would be no way that I would do the slam and the owner slam. I know that is stretched too far. Just, I wouldn't want to do that. You know, the owner slam by itself, I think, is definitely achievable. It's 8 weeks between each race.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a tough challenge, but it's achievable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to put anything else in there. And then the wild horse will just be about the wild horse. It's in April now, isn't it, as well? So
yeah, because they got the Mid Wales wild horse as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I won't be like pushing it to breaking points next. Well, I say that there's still 3 100s, but I do think it's achievable.
Yeah,
Definitely is. So yeah,
it's just how much you're willing to prepare and sacrifice. Like you were saying, like you sacrificed a lot for this. Like that's going to be a level of sacrifice as well.
Yeah.
It's just being ready to sacrifice that, because people like to keep adding, but they don't like to subtract.
And that's why I haven't come across that yet. I haven't had like a DNF or, do you know what I mean, something that is too far to go. Yeah, we're all trying to juggle these things, and we're thinking, oh, what do I want to do? What is achievable? But fingers crossed, or touch wood, even I can keep injury free and do it. It's getting done well.
Yeah, no, I know it's getting done, man. I know it is. I just I'm glad that you're proud of what you've achieved, because it's been amazing watching you and like following along. Like since I met you, I don't even know how long ago it was now, but like it was
we met the Mumbles Ton with Paul.
Yeah, the Mumbles Ton, whenever that was. That feels like a lifetime ago to me.
I feel this about the last 6 months, like the duration in the slam. At the same time, it feels like way longer than 6 months, like years, but then also it's gone so quick. Yeah, and especially because I feel like I've progressed so much and done so many things, had so many, like, you know, running ultras, they are big experiences. It's kind of like distorted my perception of time.
I genuinely think that's a good thing though.
Yeah.
Because like, you think back to before this, how many like moments in your life can you remember?
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas like, how many moments this year can you remember?
Yeah.
It's like you've done things that are out of your usual in a good way, that's created these memories. And this is really what I try and push with everything I do, is like creating those memories. That's what my life's been about. I want as many experiences as I can, positive and negative. Like every experience is a good story.
Yeah.
I want as many stories as I can squeeze out of this life. I don't want to just like live and be like, oh well, like my mate, I used to go climbing with him, and he always says, like, there was a guy that he used to work with, he's a postman, and he went to his funeral and everyone was like, oh, he was a good postman. And it's like, that was his life, was being a postman. And I, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, genuinely, I don't see there's anything wrong with that. But I don't want that for me. I don't want to do a job my whole life and then just be like, yeah, Will was a really good PT.
Yeah.
It's like, I want there to be more to say about me.
That's your calling, though, isn't it? That's what, emotionally creates an emotional response. That was coming out of therapy when I had it as well. I was feeling like I'd had this like untapped thing inside me, and that was causing me frustrations. And from having kids as well, I was feeling like I wasn't going through with my full potential. And I'm only 37, but I was quite conscious of in 5 years' time I'd be 42, and I just wanted to. Well, I still want to stamp some things down that it's like when the time does come when I'm older, I can be like, no, I did it,
Yeah.
rather than just passing through life with what if. You just gotta fucking do it over there,
Yeah. You never know when your time's going to come, so like, fucking make the most of it.
Make the most of it, exactly that.
Yeah. All right. I think that was a wicked ending to the podcast. There, we sort of summed up life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
philosophical one.
No, I love it. Thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I love our chats anyway. Like,
Yeah,
we've just now recorded this one.
I was gonna say it's been amazing since we met on Paul's Mumbles We just got along straight away, didn't we? And then we've seen each other on events and stuff, and Dusk Till Dawn and that. And yeah, respect to you. Well, it was amazing watching the 6 and 6. That was like proper motivation for me, and just sharing the air demand of Vogan for you, that left its mark on me as well. Just seeing it, I was like, wow, I was in awe. So respect to you, man.
Wait till you see the Honour series.
Yes. Let's go.
Thanks again for listening to another episode of the Adventure Athletes podcast. As I always say, the more you guys share this podcast and like it and engage with it and share it with all your friends, the bigger we can get. Now, I've had some amazing guests on, and I only want the podcast to get bigger and better. If you ever have any feedback, any guests you want on, anything like that, please message me and we will do our best to get it set up. I say we, it is just me. I do this all for the love of doing it. I love sharing the podcast with you guys and sharing as much information as I can for free. So the more you guys engage, the more that helps me be able to do that. One day, maybe I'll actually earn some money for doing this. Who knows? But until next time, guys.